Merry Christmas. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Christmas Land. I hope you have your ticket. I hope you have your passports. I'm Kira Davis. I am your trusty train conductor, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host and resident Christmas Land expert, Amelia Hamilton. Amelia, how are you doing out there on the East Coast for Christmas preparations? Is it snowing?
I actually, we're expecting snow tonight. I'm so excited.
Ooh.
I'm so excited. My
Oh,
friend
you
was like
haven't had any yet?
my friend was like, "It's actually a snow rain mix," and I was like, "I'm not here for you to bring me down, okay?
No, I don't need this type of negativity today.
I don't need it."
It's gonna be soft, fluffy snow that looks
It
like
is.
dish soap bubbles.
It's gonna be
Yes,
beautiful.
it's gonna be beautiful.
I
I'm
can't
very
wait.
excited. I know I've been looking at all of the pictures from my friends who don't live in California. It's starting to snow and people are starting to get out there and enjoy the winter weather. And so we really
Yeah,
are in the heart of the Christmas season. And
absolutely.
I was wondering, Amelia, before we got started though, I was wondering, have you ever gotten a Christmas gift that you just really didn't expect? Maybe something you really, really wanted, like even when you were a kid, like you were desperate for it or you really didn't want and you got that?
Alright, there is one that I really wanted, and this is gonna show what a big nerd I am. But there was this woman in the town where I grew up who made, like, handmade teddy bears, and she would make them that, like, had themes, and I really wanted so when I was maybe, like, 10, my family went and saw Phantom of the Opera, and I really wanted a Phantom of the Opera bear, and my parents talked to her, and she genuinely was like, "It's just too late in the year, I've got all my Christmas orders, we can't do it." But then I got my Phantom of the Opera bear, and it turns out that it was true, she had said it was too late to order a bear, but then, like, my mom had been like, "That's too bad, maybe next year," because like, I thought it would be cool to do a mask like this or whatever, and the woman got really excited when she was talking to my mom and was like, "Okay, fine, I'll squeeze it in." So, when my mom had just told me, because she was like, "I don't want you to get your hopes up about
Uh-huh.
this because I know that you really wanted this bear, and I don't want you to be disappointed on Christmas morning, so I just want you to know it's not happening." And I had a great Christmas anyway, I've always been just kind of a Christmas girl. So the family
Yeah.
was together, we did all of our stuff. I'm sure I got other wonderful gifts. Then at the end, my parents came out like, "Ta-da, here's the
Oh,
bear."
at the end.
Yeah,
How fun. That really is the nerdiest Christmas miracle I've
I
ever
know,
heard.
I know.
That's a really special story. Well, I can remember this is really gonna date me, but when I was a kid, I wanted the new Corey Hart album so bad, so
Mhm.
bad. And I think I would have been, like, right on the cusp of babysitting age, so I wasn't quite
Yeah,
making my own money, is what I'm saying. I
yeah,
needed, like, Santa to bring these things.
right.
And, um, and my mom kept saying, because we did do Santa Claus when I was growing up, Amelia. I did have Santa Claus. My mother, Amelia's very upset with our family about our Santa Claus, ideology. But, we in my mom's house, we did do Santa Claus, and I was young enough to still believe in Santa Claus, and so my mom kept preparing me for the lean Christmas Santa was gonna have, you know?
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, well, he's got so many other kids to deliver gifts to, it's not gonna be a lot." And when
Yeah,
I woke up Christmas morning, that Corey Hart album, I still remember the cover. I still
yeah.
remember the cover. It was after Sunglasses at Night, so it was whatever the album that came after that, and it was propped up on the living room couch when I walked into the living room in the morning. I just remember that feeling of pure joy.
I love it.
I don't remember even the Corey Hart album, but I know I played it to death. I probably played it out and then just
Yeah,
had to throw it away.
I love it.
Anyway. Yeah. Well, tell us what your special Christmas gifts were, what you enjoyed about Christmas. I'm going to put all of the contact information right here up on the screen for you, or just drop it in the comments. Tell us what's a Christmas gift you got, an unexpected Christmas gift. If it was unexpected weird or unexpected fun and joyful, let us know. All right. Well, we got to get into our movie today, Amelia. This is a special request.
It was.
We don't do really special requests. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Everybody feels like they're the Christmas land expert, but to be honest, people, there's only one Christmas land expert, and it's Amelia Hamilton. That's why she picks the movies. I'm just the guide. I just guide us through. But Amelia knows everything about this universe. But my husband, to be fair, he had a request, and I'm sleeping with the guy, and I just didn't know how to say no.
You're sleeping with him?
Yeah,
We don't talk like that in Christmas land. We
I'm
don't talk like
sorry.
that. We don't
I'm
talk like that.
sorry, but I felt
We can say they're
coerced.
married, we can say they have children, but we don't say how they got here.
Right. Well, what I mean by sleeping with is that we sleep in the same bedroom, but obviously we have twin beds.
Twin beds. Right, okay.
Yep.
Got it.
So, but I felt coerced. It was a mercy movie.
After he sat through The Merry Gentleman, we couldn't say no.
So he wanted a black movie, he wanted a BET movie. Amelia gave him some options. He didn't like any of the options, and then he went to pick 3 of his own, which
Yes.
were just one was just Amelia's option.
One was the one that I had already said was my first choice, so I was like, "That is perfect." What a
Okay.
thank you, Mark.
Yes, thank you, Mark. And so before we get started today, I want to read our statement that we don't read it every episode, but I like to remind the creators, we do like to remind the
Yeah,
creators and the people who took the time to make this movie that we appreciate that. And because, we are critical, it's a podcast, is what we do. But we want everyone to know that we can only do this podcast because you do what you do.
yeah.
So, and we're grateful for it. So, for today's movie, we here at Journey to Christmas Land are completely sincere about our love and joy for the universe of cheesy TV Christmas movies. We may poke fun at productions or scripts or silly stories, but it's all in good fun and done with deep respect for the men and women who worked on the film, for the men and women who make this glorious entertainment. So, to everyone who worked on the film, we are reviewing today. Please know we are so grateful. We are fans. We don't want you to change anything or do anything different. You are perfect the way you are, and we hope you enjoy our commentary as much as we enjoyed your project. Thank you and congratulations on making a movie because that's no small feat. Now, get on your hat and your mittens, grab your hot toddy. We're heading to Christmas land. Amelia, set our movie up.
All right. So we watched the BET Plus, which is their app, what BET Black Entertainment Television.
Some of our listeners may need to know that. I don't feel like our base is the BET base. Not yet.
So their Christmas 2025 offering, Christmas by Design, starring the beautiful Danielle LaRoche as Tuesday Comfort and Lamont Archie as David Joy. So we've got Comfort and Joy,
Loved
which
it.
which I loved because we have not been able to check off the trope of Christmas names in a while. So
Not
I
enough.
appreciated that. Yeah.
I can understand that maybe Christmas land is running out of Christmas names. That you can't name every protagonist Holly. I know Amelia's like, why not?
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, we used to name Christmas in every single movie.
Yeah, we used to have people, yeah, they were named Holly and Noelle and Ivy, like, all the time, or a last name. Somebody was named something Frost.
Yeah.
So I was delighted to have a Comfort and Joy right off the bat.
I very much appreciated it, and I also thought the lead actress was very pretty and
Yeah,
appropriate looking for Christmas Land.
yeah.
So, yeah, I loved it.
So the little tagline, "A famous handbag designer finds her latest product line stolen and calls in an IT expert." I'm here
Okay.
for it.
All right. We got a good setup. We've got a
Yeah.
little conflict right from
Mhm.
the top.
'Kay. So we start off, it is New Year's Eve, Times Square. So at first I was like, "Wait, are we watching a New Year's Eve movie? What's happening?" All right, we are at a swanky party.
Hang on. Hang on. This is New York City?
Yes.
It's New York City. They're in New York? I missed that part. I for real thought they were in Atlanta.
It literally starts with, "We're at Times Square, we're watching the ball drop."
I missed it because, obviously, they only tell and don't show a lot in this movie, and I don't know what I was doing, if I was burping or yawning, I just missed it, so I spent the whole movie
I mean, unless Atlanta, is possible they also do their thing. I mean, who knows?
okay, because I was like in the beginning, I was like, there's no way that there's gonna be, like, this many Black people working at one place in any other city except Atlanta, so I just accepted that it was Atlanta, and then later on, I realized, well, it could be anywhere because this is just a Christmas movie,
Yeah,
Christmas we watch all white Christmas
there's
movies,
magic in
so
Christmas Land, right.
I did not realize that it was supposed to be New York City, and I just think that's kind of a listen, can I just give some advice before we move forward, Amelia?
Yeah.
For fledgling Christmas land filmmakers? I realize that New York City is the city of Christmas, and we have no issues with you wanting to set stuff there. But if you can't pull it off at least a little, it really is okay to set your movie in another major American city. You can
Sure.
do Atlanta. It snows there
Mm.
sometimes, but you can do another city. It doesn't have to be New York because sometimes I feel like then the city becomes a character, is such a
Yeah.
character that I'm expecting some set pieces. I'm expecting some New York moments.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna give me the New York moments, just set it anywhere, that's fine. Don't stress yourselves.
Okay. Well, I'm not stressed about it.
Good, good. We don't like stress in Christmas Land. We just got out of Holiday Land. That was a very stressful visit.
And now we're in New York City. And these two, Tuesday and David, they are flirting. They are downing spiked eggnog. They
Yeah.
are dirty dancing. They are flirting heavy.
I
And
loved
then,
that they were it but it I loved that it was the eggnog,
yeah, it
that
was,
they
I know,
weren't
I love
getting
it too. It's like another little nod to Christmas Land. Like they aren't just drinking, they're drinking eggnog.
yeah, right. The
Blame
hard
the
stuff.
eggnog. So, it's getting to the countdown, it's getting to the Christmas kiss or the midnight kiss, and he just kinda ditches her, and she's like, "Oh, weird, okay." So, we go to a few minutes later, she straight on stumbles into the coat room, and already I'm like, "Okay, this is not Christmas Land because she's drunk."
Yeah. She was yeah, right. That's what I thought too. I was
I
like,
mean,
I don't think I've
she's
ever seen anyone drunk in Christmas
yeah,
Land.
she cannot walk a straight line. She is straight on stumbling into the coat
Mhm.
room. And so she stumbles and he catches her. And it was like, this is again, so not only is she stumbling because she's drunk, but like we get the like she falls and he catches her moment, but she falls because she's drunk. Like
Right.
we're breaking all the rules here.
It's kinda romantic, but not really, you
Right.
know?
And so then and then also they go straight into the kiss. He catches her, they have the moment and they kiss. But it's not just like a kiss. They start just making out in the
Okay,
coat room.
I'm gonna stop you right here because I'm gonna guess that we're probably getting some new viewers on this episode because 'cause we're reviewing a movie that really isn't in our wheelhouse, and so
Yeah.
it's gonna bring us a different audience. So I want people who are hearing us crack up over the kiss. This is a very, like, family-friendly show, and part of what we love about Christmas Land is, like, the cheesy, saccharine, ridiculous innocence of it. So our one of our favorite tropes is that you never kiss until the end of the movie.
Oh,
So
yeah.
for us
And
to
it's always
see
just like
yeah,
a really innocent kiss.
yeah,
Like,
really innocent. Your
you are
grandma
not
could
making
watch
out.
it, yeah. But these guys were not.
They
This
were
is a
going
different
for it. And then
we are still in Christmas Land, but this is definitely in a different
yeah,
zone.
this is New York City Christmas Land.
Sure. Got it.
And then because you know how they never trust the people from the city. So then they so then he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, pump the brakes." And just like and like she's horrified that he wants to slow things down and she just runs away. And at this point, we are 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the movie and all of this has already happened. I paused it and I texted Kira, like, how did this much happen already? We're
I
two
know.
and a half minutes in. We've already had falling and being caught. We've already had a full makeout. Like, we've had a lot happen in 2.5 minutes. My brain doesn't know what to do.
It was a lot, but then I said, "Well, it's about all that happens because this movie is a slow movie, I will say it, it is a
Yeah.
slowly moving movie, and a lot is said and not shown. So that
Yeah.
was actually the most show you get through
Yeah.
the that first 2 minutes, and it was a lot. They crammed in, like, most of the action in the movie in that
Yeah.
first 2.5
It
minutes.
was a lot that
Yeah.
happened.
And for us, our for our virgin ears and eyes, we're like,
Yeah, for our
"Oh my
Christmas
gosh."
looking selves, it was like all I was also on team David Joy. We need to pump the brakes here. Are you guys even married?
Right.
All right. So now it is a year later. We know there are 21 days until Christmas, and Tuesday is launching what she calls her Angel line, which it was
Love
not clear to me at first, but it turns out it's a line of designer handbags. She has these high-end designer handbags, and there is this high security lockdown. Nobody can see the designs until they launch on Christmas Eve, of
Of
course.
course, I was like, "Of course, it's a Christmas Eve deadline." Naturally, you don't think your employees have anywhere to be on Christmas Eve except
No,
at a work party.
except at work.
In Christmas Land, all big events are on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Her mom is also super busy because she is planning Christmas dinner, and her mom has promised a friend or the cousin 2 free handbags from this line, and Tuesday's like, "Well, you can't just these are, like, $1,000 handbags. You can't just have a couple free," and her mom says, "I thought that I was gonna get and I pushed you out of parts of my body that will never look the same because I'm your mama discount." Again, we're not in Christmas land because we don't talk about how babies are born.
Right, we don't even mention how babies are born. We do
Mm-mm.
not ever discuss we don't even get close to talking about how babies are born.
No, not conceived, not born, they just happen.
They just happen. That being said, I did chuckle at that because
I
it's
did too.
basically what I tell my kids all
I
the
mean,
time
right,
about
I was also
everything.
like, that is kind of fair.
It is. I was like, my son, I did 26 hours of hard labor to get him into the world, and I'm very quick to remind him of that when I want
Yeah,
something.
that's fair. Later, Tuesday is doing an interview talking about how her bags are made with style, elegance, and bravery,
Uh,
which for some reason made me think of how she what's her name? The prince in the princess movie was, like, beautiful, funny, and surprisingly funky.
oh,
I don't know.
I know, it just reminded you of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it just made me think of it. I guess whenever there's a list of adjectives now, I'm gonna wanna add surprisingly funky.
I know.
So, alright, but now we get to the real plot starting. The next morning, Tuesday comes into work, and it turns out that the designs have leaked. Images of the designs have leaked. This is a huge problem because now the knockoff people can start manufacturing them and rush them to market before the real bags are out. We got ourselves a problem.
Got
Now,
ourselves a
in the
problem.
real world, everybody knows that they can go get a knockoff Chanel, a knockoff Vuitton, whatever, but they still buy the real ones. However, that's not how it works here. People now, like, life is ruined. They can't possibly release these new bags. They don't know what they're going to do. But what they need to do is bring in a cyber crime expert to figure out how these designs got out.
Mhm.
Lo and behold, it is David Joy,
What?
the man from the closet.
The very man from the closet man?
Closet man.
Crazy. I didn't see this coming.
Yeah. So Tuesday is just like she's just straight up trying to hide when she realizes it's him. She is like, he can't see me. She's just holding
Embarrassing.
up this. So we've got that story going on where she's hiding from David. And at the same time, she is trying to come up with an entirely new design that can be designed, produced, and brought to market 18 days. That's what we've got now. 18 days.
8.
All right. The next day, though, David is like, we just need to have a meeting. Like, he needs to talk to her directly. She's been avoiding him, but he's like, "I need to talk to you. They're your
Right, it's
designs.
your business.
It's your
Right, it's your
business. I need to
business.
talk to
I
you."
probably should have talked to you, like, first thing, but
Yeah. So she gets, like, a new wig, big glasses. He's never gonna recognize her. Who's gonna know? How's he gonna know? They're
right?
gonna know.
But she has glasses on, though.
She has glasses. She has a new wig. It's gonna be fine. So she's nervous, and her bestie gives her so again, for new viewers, we love when there is cliche advice that you could just stitch on a pillow.
Yeah, the wisdom of Christmas land.
Wisdom of Christmasland. So here's some wisdom from Black Christmasland. Don't let your booty impact the business.
It does not get better than that.
Yeah.
It does not get better than that. Don't let
Go.
your booty impact the business.
Yeah. So she's like, "You're right. I can't let booty impact the business." Oh,
But
sorry.
you know what?
Don't let the booty impact the business. So
You
she's
know,
like,
but you know what? This segment is we poke fun at this because it's this cheesy, always this cheesy, most basic
yeah,
wisdom that they give that you could find anywhere, but it's always sold as like the most impressive thing. This actually was good advice.
that's actually some of the most actionable advice we've had.
Mhm. Mhm. You can put that into action right away. Do not let the booty affect the business,
Yeah.
ladies.
Just
Yeah.
don't.
And you know what? It's a lot of ladies out there to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not really in Christmas land though. A
No.
lot of ladies in Christmas land let their business affect the booty.
True.
Mhm.
True. They do it the other
Lots of
way
busy
around.
business women in business land. All right. Anyways, well, we got
So
that great advice. Thank you.
so they go to the so she goes to the meeting, and the assistant brings them an eggnog. He's like, "Is it spiked?" "No, of course not. This is business hours." And he's like, "Well, I hope not, because that would be another mistake." No, because I haven't had it since a party last year, and then I'd make another mistake or something like that. Well, Tuesday is horrified, like, "So does he remember me? Was I a mistake? What is going on here?"
That
Wow.
yeah, that would I would have been mortified
I would have been
too
too.
as
I mean,
well.
really.
Yeah, but I well, this is a movie. I just don't know if I would have I was trying to think of, like, what would I do? You know what I mean? Because this hap I don't have any romantic entanglements like this, but it happens a lot in work where I'm not sure if someone's gonna remember me,
Yeah.
and we might have had even a nice dinner together, a nice time, and then you're kind of embarrassed. Like,
Yeah.
do they what do you do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would put on a hat. And that's probably what she was missing,
And
right?
big
She had
glasses.
glasses, wig. I would just go get the hat. That's probably what I would do.
All right. So they have their little discussion. I mean, it takes like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Listen, I've heard you wanted to replace me. What's up?" And basically, he tells her, "You're going to have all my attention. I'm going to work so hard on this." She finds this incredibly hot and is like, "I am keeping you." So
Mhm.
she's kind of letting the booty affect the business, but in a
Yeah.
business positive way.
Well, that's how it starts. That's how it starts. Starts like off like a good idea, but in her defense, the guy was hot.
He's hot.
Yeah.
So, we get it Tuesday. And Myrtle gets
Let's
it.
go. Hey, Myrtle. Oh,
Myrtle's
by the way,
obviously,
we re-record from home. You'll hear the sounds of life in the background. Please
do not be alarmed.
do not be alarmed. We're living our
Um,
lives while we record.
so later, okay, we see David now at home, and he is emailing his mom saying, and it's a very kind of cold, distant email. It's very different from the way Tuesday interacts with her mom. And it's sort of, "If you're in town over Christmas, maybe we could meet up." But what I appreciated about this scene is that he emails his mom with a font size of 7 million. The letters are about this big on his screen. I was dying.
I thought you were gonna say you were tickled by the fact that he started it off by saying, "Hello, mother."
I did also laugh at that. "Hello, mother." Which sounds like a villain or something, but like, "Hello, mother," which sounds like, actually, now I sound like Buster Bluth. "Hello, mother. I went to army." But no, it was the gigantic font size that killed me.
Oh, man. Okay, well, maybe maybe he's in IT, he stares at the screen all day, maybe it's gotta be
So,
bigger.
I guess so.
Anyway, he has a very cold relationship with his mother and also bad eyesight.
And bad eyesight. So the next morning, he stops by Tuesday's home office, which he does regularly throughout the film, and she works from home in a silk robe. I'm just gonna mention that.
That house was, again, like, this is New York. This is New York City. I don't know who's living like this in New York City, even a handbag designer.
Yeah,
That's why I said I thought it was Atlanta. But, that being said, her place is ridiculous, and this is how your place should look in Christmas land.
yeah,
Like, every inch just covered with Christmas crap, you know? Just random stuff. So she even had, like, do you decorate your bedroom, Amelia? I feel like
no.
we talked about this
Even
before.
I don't.
Yeah, and you do yeah, and you're a big Christmas fan. Right, if Amelia doesn't do it, that's overtouch she's sleeping with, like, she's got a Christmas tree in her bedroom, she's got a fireplace in her New York City bedroom, lights everywhere, and then she gets up and there's just Christmas in every single
Yeah,
corner of this
yeah,
a house. It looks like a house.
yeah, it does. And in her fireplace, she keeps memorabilia, which I also found interesting. She keeps like a handbag that her grandmother had made, her
Mhm.
childhood doll that meant a lot to her. I find that an odd place to keep, but I guess maybe she doesn't. I was going to say there's not a lot of storage in a New York City apartment, but it's like you said, it's a freestanding giant house. So I
Right.
don't know what's going
She
on.
keeps
So she starts telling David that her grandmother designed these handbags, and she named them all after like Black women in history, and she's got this cool history that she's sort of, bringing into her own. her own design, her own aesthetic, and, she's trying to do her grandma proud. So that's kind of like
Another little it was a nice little moment,
yeah,
again, with this movie, and it's an independent film, so I don't wanna be too harsh, but there's so much tell and not enough show,
yeah,
and that was a moment where you know what it reminded me of, Amelia? It reminded me of, was it Coming Home for Christmas, or it was the one with it was a military one we did where she was looking for the owner of this World War II
yeah,
memorabilia, um and that was a movie that also had history behind it, and so they used the different scenes to give you a little history lesson, and
yeah,
I feel like that this movie missed the opportunity because clearly they
yeah.
wanted to show a little bit of deference and respect to the Black history angle of this. Great,
Mhm.
I love that, but then this is a great opportunity for you to do a little display, like, "Oh, here are some of the cards my grandmother saved. This woman was the woman who she was the first Black woman to invent" whatever,
Yeah.
zippers, or here's a
Mhm.
you missed an opportunity to give us a lovely little history lesson. It was a lovely little moment, but it was lost because it was just told and not
Yeah,
shown.
yeah. So Tuesday after this interaction with David, she goes and talks to her bestie and admits that she's kind of mad that David doesn't remember her. To her, this meeting on New Year's Eve was really significant. She felt like they really had a connection, and David doesn't even remember her, which fair, like that would be
Yeah,
hurtful.
they did kiss.
I get it. And okay, so now the next day, they're at the office. David rides his bike to work. Okay, this part killed me. She takes a car. She has a driver who drives her to work, then just waits there all day, she said. She doesn't like then call for him. He just waits and then he takes her home. But so she's going to buy bikes for this family in need for Christmas, like because she likes to, give back to the community. Great. And
She's
since
nice.
he's a guy who rides his bike to work and she doesn't know anything about bikes, he's going to go with her to the bike store and help her pick them out. And here I wrote down this movie is just a series of sketches that are barely connected. It felt
Yeah.
like just a bunch of scenes. Like the story they didn't necessarily go together. They like this these are all nice moments, going to the bike store, even the ride to the bike store where they're in the car, but somehow they didn't flow together all the time for me. It just felt like, now let's put them in a bike store. Now let's put them in a car. Now and then they kind of like found a way to jam it together, which I think you nailed it, where there was too much telling and not enough showing, where they just had like some dialogue to be like, here, now we're gonna get in a car. Now we're gonna be at
Right.
the bike store.
Yeah.
And then while they were in the car on the way there, she just mentions that it's funny that she takes a car everywhere because she's scared of cars and talks about this car accident she was in as a child. Again, it just kind of comes out of nowhere. There
They
was a
had Yeah, this movie had a lot of all of the right elements for
Mhm.
Christmas Land. Actually, and now that we're talking about it, I feel like it has every right element for Christmas Land. It had a
Yeah,
lot of the points that we would demand in a Christmas Land movie. It just was not it was like someone threw all the pieces in the air, and just the
yeah,
way it came down was the movie that we got. I think you're right, and a lot of that can be solved with letting the audience come along the journey of discovery with you, and you need more show for that, less tell. These 2 are very attractive people. They're
mhm.
lovely to look at. It's only so interesting to see 2 people just talking through their feelings.
Yeah, because the performances were good too. I'm
Yes.
not the actors did a good job. I'm not no shade to them of, their performances, but like you said, it's hard to just have 2 people sitting in a car with a green screen of the city behind them.
They had all the conflict set up for them in the beginning with the purse. Everything can be related to that. Then every situation should be a thread of that, right? Not
Right.
just that you're going to the bike store, but that, that somehow this is related to this event, or your party is everything revolves around that. And then every situation you're in has some
Yeah.
kind of internal conflict.
Yeah.
There's no
And then
conflict in their
Yeah,
scene.
and then there were moments like at the bike store, they have, the Tuesday, the main woman is about the same height as the woman who needs a bike. So he's like, "Why don't you get on it and try it out?" I thought there was gonna be a cute thing where she was gonna lose her balance and he'd catch her again, and maybe they'd have
Yeah.
another moment. They missed that, you know, just,
Yeah.
they could have stuck some little stuff in there, but anyway. So we're back at work the next day. He shows up in a Santa hat, just being hot in a Santa hat. He is appreciating the new designs that she's doing, and he kind of shares a little bit about his own past, that he grew up really well off, but it made his mom materialistic.
Mm.
So he talks about how when he was in high school, like the one creative, because he's saying that he appreciates that Tuesday is creative and makes these beautiful things. And the only thing he ever really made was in high school in like art class. He made a piece of pottery for his mom, but she really only likes expensive things. So she just threw it away. And so, like, you know, that's sad. We don't like it.
We don't well, mother is not a very
Hello, mother.
sensitive person. Surprise, surprise, mother doesn't like kindergarten pottery. Yeah, okay, he's got some conflict.
No.
They tried to do a little callback again in the script to that, but we don't need all I just we don't need
Yeah.
I feel like people excuse me, I feel like people try to complicate their Christmas Land scripts, trying to give us all of these motivations and underlying things, and
Yeah.
we don't need
We
them.
don't need
Your
that.
original thing and maybe a thing of like, "I've been hurt in the past." That's fine.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
I'm not that close with my mom. Okay.
She's very distant, but I
Yeah.
wish I was.
Yeah. My family
Yeah,
wasn't
you
New
don't have
York.
to do
Okay.
all that. This also felt like I wondered when I was watching this movie, Amelia, I wondered what it would have been like as a short film.
Oh, yeah.
I thought, "Mate, this has short film energy to me." Like, it
Yeah.
probably would have been really entertaining and moved a lot quicker if it had been
Yeah.
condensed into 20
I
or
like
30
that.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway,
So he also talks to her about how she used to give out bags to women who were just leaving prison and needed, to look good for job interviews and things like that. So I was wondering, like, okay, is this a conversation they had on New Year's Eve and he remembers it? Is this a moment that we just didn't see? Like, where is he getting this information? I didn't remember that. So I found that
I
interesting.
don't remember it either, but I think I remember her talking to her friend
She
about
did
it.
talk to her friend about it, but I didn't know how he knew.
I'm just gonna assume that that happened in the off
Yeah.
camera in their off
So
camera conversations.
and then we have kind of a Robert Barron moment because he calls her out on her high prices and is like, that's not really, for someone who likes to give back and stuff, how are you helping women? And she's like, well, the really expensive bags are how we fund our whole nonprofit. And the nonprofit is where we give like skills training and we help women like get back on their feet, in really practical ways rather than affordable handbags.
Mhm.
I mean, fair. I thought that was
Yeah.
a really good response because
Yeah.
rather than getting a department store affordable handbag, maybe people need like job training and something to eat, and that's how we pay for it. I thought that was a good answer. Good job, Tuesday.
Yeah, I thought that was a great answer, and also, what is his problem? He just went to the bike store with her. He just
Yeah,
went to the bike store and saw that she buys bikes for poor people. Like, what is his problem? She's got a business, dude. She's making money.
yeah. Then he tells her that her hacker is probably an insider, and she is horrified because at Angel Design, Tuesday Comfort Angels, whatever, we are a family, and nobody here would do that to me,
Not in
obviously.
New York City,
Not in the
not
world
in
of
New York.
high fashion.
Yeah,
Nobody would
no,
betray you.
no.
Now we have a musical montage of people doing crafts, and I had absolutely no idea what was going on. I was like, "I don't know where we are. I don't know who these people are. I do not know what's going on."
I actually left the room. I actually left the room. I took a pee break, and normally I pause so I don't miss anything, and I didn't pause. I was just
Yeah.
like, this
And
doesn't
you
make
didn't miss anything.
it felt again, this movie felt like
Mm.
somebody threw all the pieces up and then just edit like, just produced it with what landed, and it felt like maybe somebody put that in there because they were like, "Oh, they're not doing enough cute stuff."
Yeah. It turns out that they're at a shelter, and then the mom explains, which if they had just done these 2 pieces in the other order, it would have worked a lot better. So the mom explains that after they had a house fire, which I'm like, so we've got a house fire, you were in a car accident, like a lot is going on. How
Mhm.
dark does this backstory need to be? But so the mom explains that after this house fire, they lost everything and they had to go stay at this particular shelter. So now they like to give back and do, these Christmas activities and donate stuff and, their time and treasure. So the mom says, and I appreciated this again, but the mom says, we came from nothing and look at Tuesday now. She's got this incredible business. She's, you know, doing everything. She's nailing it because God can turn things around. So you need to have faith that God can do that in your life too. And I
Mm.
appreciated that so much. So that was a great moment.
Yes. Well, in Black Christmas Land, we definitely never play about Jesus, even on the secular side. When I knew that you would pick up on that because we love it when we get to see the real reason for Christmas
Yeah,
show up in our cheesy Christmas Land movies.
we
And
do.
mom nailed it.
She did. Mom knows what's up. All right. The next morning, David stops by Tuesday's home office where she's sitting around in her silk bathrobe or silk robe again. And
And her
I thought
bonnet.
this I thought this was weird. He was like, "Hey, I know you're struggling with your designs. At this point we've got what, 15 days or 2 weeks or whatever. Have you thought about, using your horrifying tragic past to inform your designs?" And she's like, "You're the IT guy. What are you doing?" He is so offended by this. But dude, what are you doing? You're the
You
IT
just got
guy.
here. Yeah, I'm a
Do
handbag
your job
designer.
and let me do mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk into Ralph Lauren. Be
At his
like, "Hey, Ralph, I
house.
have an idea. Why you should use, like, your past experiences
Right.
to inspire your current designs." It's just something I'm thinking about. It's just something
And
I've been thinking about.
it was even weirder
You
because
can
he
have that
went to
idea
her
for free.
house. Like, even if, like, they were at even if he was, like, in her office working on her computer and she was sitting there and he said, like, "This is probably out of line, but I had this idea." Like, they were already in a room together. But, like, to go to her house to say that just brought it up to an even weirder level of something that was already super weird. And then he was so offended that she put him in his place. What is happening?
The stakes are really strange in this movie, and
Yeah.
I suspect I didn't look up the writers, but I'm gonna guess that these are young people writing it, and so these are young people conflicts, right? They're not really conflicts, but these are how young people imagine adults conflict. This is what I think is happening here. Of
So
course, it doesn't make sense because it's written by a young person who would be offended by that or does think like, "When you get older, this is how you act."
I mean, the writers have credits going back like 12 years.
Well,
I
they
mean,
can
it's
still be
not
young. At my
a
age,
super
everybody's
long
young.
time, but
They've got a good resume.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, at least one of the writers does, but
Well, so
it
they're not
was
that young. It's not like this is
yeah,
a college script.
right.
Well, then maybe I feel a little more free to be a little, more critical.
So,
I don't
yeah,
wanna be
it
too
was
critical.
just
We don't like to be negative in Christmas Land.
yeah, but that I found that really odd. So then she's like, "While I'm yelling at you, what was up with that whole thing that happened with us on New Year's Eve?" So she's like, "Was I not smart enough for you? Not sexy enough? Oh, you wanted a freak, somebody who was gonna feel you up on the dance floor." Oh, that took a turn. They haven't even acknowledged that that even happened.
Right,
And
then there's that, yeah.
suddenly she's like, "Get your design ideas out of my house, and by the way, what was that on New Year's Eve?" She
Yeah,
doesn't even know if he knows that was her.
right. I thought that that was just sort of supposed to be I didn't have a problem with that part because I just
Well,
thought
no,
she
I
was like,
mean,
"Oh,
that was
I'm
also a
frustrated
lot.
and it's coming out now."
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yeah, she's just mad, so she's gonna unload about everything. I get it. So we find out he definitely does know that it was her. And so he's like, "Listen, you threw yourself into the coat room hoping that I would catch you, and then you threw yourself at me and like shoved your mouth on mine." And I was like, "What? This man,
Typical men,
the
man.
audacity of
Of
this man."
course. And she did not, by the way. She did
No,
not. This
no.
dude. Mhm,
He stumbled and he caught her,
mhm.
but this
He's
man,
probably he was pretty hot though, and he's wealthy. He's
right.
probably got women throwing
I was gonna
themselves
say
at
that's
him
just his
every
experience of being a hot single man in New York
right.
City that we
Exactly.
can probably do literally like, "Oh, I tripped,"
Yeah.
all the time.
I would. I know I
I
would.
mean, why not? If
I would just
anybody
see if this guy
knows
catches
where
me.
David Comfort is, let me know.
Yeah.
So and so he's like so she's like, "You never this has been so awkward because I didn't know if you knew who I was and you were just avoiding me or ignoring me or if you forgot me, which is also embarrassing. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
know which flavor of embarrassing this whole thing was." And he's like, "I didn't know if you remembered or if you didn't or if you just wanted to start fresh. So I was just kind of taking my cues from you this whole time." And so
Not a
she
good sign.
no.
Not a good sign, ladies. If the man is taking his cues from you the whole time, he's not leading anywhere,
No.
he's not leading in in any way, like, to s even that's even a sign of maturity for a man to say, "Hey, this happened." I know, to be fair, a lot of guys would just try to forget about it, but I do think that the idea that it's like, "Well, I was just waiting to see if you remembered." I don't know, that just feels like a little bit cowardly, it feels a little weak.
It was. Yeah. So then she fires him. And I was thinking exactly what the BFF says in the next scene.
Mhm.
You know he can fire you for that.
Right, he can sue you for that, like, you
Or
can't
sue
just
you, yes.
right, that's why she gave her that advice in the beginning,
Yeah,
okay? Don't let the booty affect the biz,
right.
right?
So
This is where that comes in.
I loved that the best friend was being realistic because we don't get I know that we also say all the time that we don't like it when Christmas Land is realistic because that's not what we're here for.
Right,
But in this instance, I did like that the best friend was giving actual advice like, "Don't fire him over something romantic. He can sue you."
right, practical,
Yeah.
practical advice, and he'll go get one of them real good, gritty Holiday Land lawyers, and those people have no scruples.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, no, I like that too. I was like, "You can't just fire him, can't just do that." And
Yeah.
they're in New York too.
Mhm. It's not gonna go well.
HR laws are way different there.
Yeah. So, the friend also has been, like, basically cyber stalking David, by which I mean she Googled him. She looked him up on Scoop Chatter and found out that he has all kinds of tech money, but he also loves the environment, and they talk about how black men are really into the environment now, so that's great. He is
I
trying
didn't know this actually. I
he's
hadn't heard.
he's
I live in
trying
a house full of black men, but I had not heard.
Are they trying to build race cars that run on water? Because David is.
No, absolutely not. No, I didn't know, but again, here's another example, Amelia, of where you can show and not tell.
Mhm.
So, while I appreciate best friend did her job here, she did
Yeah,
what she was supposed to do. She's the exposition. She's giving you the character of this guy,
yeah,
but we should have seen the character of the guy. We
right.
don't need the best friend to read off the resume. That bike scene, that was just her while she was riding around, if you weren't gonna let her fall off the bike, that
Yeah.
could have been a great scene for him to say, "You know, I've been working on this in my lab where I work on my race car that runs on water."
Yeah,
You know? Those so you again, writers miss an opportunity to show the audience who David is. It's
yeah,
not as interesting as being shown.
yeah. So, the best friend also says that she's been asking around and he is a total player, which this never really comes back up,
Right.
which okay, they just kinda let that go. And again, with, like, the race car, and the race car was something that he mentioned that New Year's Eve that they hung out, and, like, none of this ever comes back. There's so much, like, extra.
Yeah, again, I felt like these were excuses for building the character of the guy
Yeah,
instead of showing us the character. So we're
right.
supposed to just automatically root for this guy and this woman because the writers have told us they're really good people.
Yeah. So the next day, they kind of talk about it, and she apologizes for going off on him. And he apologizes and says that basically he was raised by his nannies and a drunk mom, and he was triggered because she had so many decorations.
That was a very odd part. This was an odd part to me.
So he said that
I didn't understand any of this drama.
his dad left when he was little, so his mom used to, like, over decorate to compensate at Christmas, so he was triggered by the amount of decorations in her house and, like, lost and it brought up all of his bad Christmas memories, so he actually used the word triggered. He was
Yeah.
triggered by her decorations.
Yeah, I
What?
was watching that part going, "What? What?" And again, in context of everything else we've learned about these people. So we've had so much information dumped on us about so he's environmentalist, he's a philanthropist, he has a distant relationship with his mother who is cold and wealthy and uncaring. Now his dad left, he was raised by, and then it's not a callback to what we've already heard was his tragic story. This is a new piece of information
Yeah.
that we're supposed to feel sorry about. It's too much.
It's
Let
too
us ruminate on the old reasons why we were feeling sorry for him.
honestly, being triggered by decorations made me laugh. It didn't even make me feel bad for him. I was like, "Dude, no."
The part made me laugh. That was the part where it's like, I was raised by my nanny and cooks, and I was just like, there's so, again, there's so much going on here that is supposed to serve as character building, but in film, character building is shown, not told. And this is
Yeah.
why Christmasland movies are actually high art and not the lowbrow form of art that everyone
Exactly.
thinks they are, because the
Exactly.
people that make these movies are artists. They have to bring down the heavy vision. They've got to bring it down to something less nuanced
Yeah.
for the Christmas Lamb format. That takes skill to do that and not lose the entertainment value.
Yeah. Absolutely. But they clear the air, they're friends again, and at the end of the workday, he has been waiting in the lobby to see her to her car safely, and she makes a comment like, "Oh, you're security now," and he goes, "I've been known to protect a body or 2." Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um, and then he tells
This is
her.
about the time, Amelia, where I was like, I'm ready to be done with this journey.
Yeah.
It was a
Yes.
lot of talking and I wanted to get to the climax.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was done. And he tells her to try pulling from her pain for her designs. And she asks again, like, what happened on New Year's Eve? Like, instead of yelling at you about it, just tell me what happened. And he says that if she will help him with a personal project, he'll explain it to her. And the next thing we know, they are baking. So we've already established that she's been working really late and he was done with his day and just sitting in the lobby waiting to see her to her car safely.
Mhm.
So I don't know what time it is, but now they're baking.
Yeah.
And then they're done baking and like decorating his whole house for Christmas, which I guess was his personal project. And then she's mad at him because he said that he would also give her dinner. And she's like, "But you gave me takeout. You got to cook for a woman if you say you're going to feed her. Just calm down. He got you takeout."
And
So they talk again about what happened on New Year's Eve. And he says that he put the brakes on because he thought she was drunk and didn't want to take advantage of her.
mhm.
So there you go. There's the
Okay,
explanation.
well, I hated that explanation because then I was like, well, what's the big friggin' deal then?
Right.
That's all you say. You know what? You might not remember me. We had this kiss. I think you were a little drunk, and I just wanted you to know that I never, or whatever. You can say it at any point.
Yeah.
That would have been a good thing to say, right?
Yeah.
A
Yeah. I really
positive.
I really liked you, but I didn't want, but because I really liked you, I didn't want anything to be uncomfortable. I want to
I
make
didn't
sure it's
want to
all
take
out there in the
advantage of
open.
you.
I'm
Yeah, I
so glad we reconnected.
that was better though than the explanation that I was making up in my mind, which was that he had diarrhea.
Oh,
That was what I was thinking. He was like,
that is
"Oh,
another
maybe he just really
explanation.
had to go to the bathroom because of all that eggnog."
I mean, it is another explanation. So they make out again.
There was a lot of making out in this
And I was
movie.
thinking, please let them just make out. I cannot handle it if they like wake up in the same bed.
Yes,
I
yes,
can't handle it.
yes. And then she woke up in a bed. The next scene is her waking up in a bed, and
I almost died.
I was like, "What?" Because I was walking somewhere in the room to set something down, and there was a corner in my way, right? And it
Yeah.
made me do this thing where I was like,
Yeah.
"What is she
Yeah,
is he gonna pop up
I
next
know.
to her?"
I
So,
think they did it
thankfully,
on purpose because it was really zoomed in on her at first,
fair
and I
enough.
was like, "No, no, no."
Alright, clever, you got me.
Yeah, but fortunately, she was in the bed at her
Yeah,
own house by
yep,
herself.
where she
So
belongs.
All right. So now she's back at work and she's got her new line. Again, it is top secret. And they're going to have an inexpensive bag to go with it. So everybody can have their own Tuesday comfort bag. Fine.
Everybody's happy. A bag for rich ladies, a bag for poor ladies on Christmas Eve.
Okay. This part was maybe the most upsetting part in the whole movie for me. She goes to talk to her bestie, and her bestie's like, "Why are you glowing? Or why are you so happy? What's going on?" And she's like, "Oh, well, David." Her friend asks her what size candy cane he is working with. I was not okay. I needed a moment.
I knew Amelia was gonna struggle with this. We do not talk like this at Christmas Land. We do not.
No,
But
no.
we're at our black neighbor's house. It's a little
I
different over there.
am going to assume that it was about a literal candy cane, and she
I
needed
that
to know what his candy supply was like.
that's exactly what you should assume, and that's exactly what I assumed you would
Yeah,
assume, and I'm gonna assume that too.
good,
Just for our own
good.
sanity's sake, because we have been pearl clutching a lot. Yeah. So let's just say she was just genuinely curious
Yeah, they
what
were
size
decorating his house, and obviously there were candy canes
candies.
involved, and
Yeah.
that's all there is to it because I refuse to believe anything else.
Does he do the mini ones? Does he
Right.
do the Christmas ones or the giant ones? That's what she meant.
That's all she wanted to know. That's all she wanted to know. All right. David, now it's his turn to be completely right about being angry. He comes bursting into the office and is like, "Pardon moi, because I'm looking at your email and we've had another like leak sort of, but it looks like someone has accessed your designs. Like you emailed them to someone who is, Mama Bear 58 or whatever." And she's like, "Oh, that's just my mom. I sent her my designs." And he's like, "Girl, you can't send like just email to,
Classic, yeah,
AOL
a
or whatever."
Gmail.
Yeah. Your mom, top secret work files. He's like, "Get your mom on the phone right now and let's ask her if she showed anybody." And she's like, "No, that's my mama.
Yeah, she's like, "My mom would never."
We're not gonna accuse her. We're not like doing any of this." And he's like, "Put her on the phone." She's like, "No, absolutely not." So they fight because she's like, "You just don't trust my mom because you don't trust her mom, because you don't trust
Your
your own
mom, yeah.
mom." And he's like, "Well, you trust your mom way too much because you just trust everybody all the time." And then they're like, "Well, we're breaking up." Okay.
Right. Well, okay, first of all, she did hire him to find out what
Right.
happened, and he found out. But second of all, yeah, of course, she doesn't want her mom being talked about like that. That's her mom. I get
Yeah.
it. So, and then he obviously is bitter, but I really genuinely thought that the mom was going to be the villain here. And I was kind of down for it. I really thought this was an interesting turn that was happening. And this was the first part of the movie that actually
It was interesting.
excited me. Yeah. I was like, "Ooh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe this is actually a movie about mothers."
About mothers. So Tuesday and best friend go to the mom's. She owns like a diner or a bakery or clear what it was. So they go over there. They are like, "You know what? Mom, can we just look at your computer? We want to cover our bases." So they look at the computer, somehow determine that the mom hadn't done anything weird. I don't know what exactly they looked at, but whatever. They determined that mom was not the leak.
She said she deleted it.
She said she deleted it. They looked at something. They were like, nothing there. But then the mom goes to the back room of the bakery, something, and they look at her scent folder and they see that with the new designs, with the like everyday woman handbag, she had forwarded that email to Candace from book club. And here's where things get spicy. Candace is always telling her daughter, Candace Jr.,
I have her as Candace Jr. in my notes.
that she is a big failure and Tuesday is the golden child because, she is doing great things. But now she can afford a Tuesday comfort bag because look, they're going to have this everyday woman bag. And she's like, "Okay, well, you probably shouldn't have forwarded the email, but I guess this one is kind of public. So I guess it's okay that you forwarded this email, but like, is Candace super into my designs, mom? Like what's going on?" She's like, "Oh yeah, Candace always wants to know what's going on." And she's like, has Candace been around your computer? Like, what else is she doing? Turns out Candace was snooping and saw the original email, took pictures, showed Candace. Candace gave them to her boyfriend who runs some kind of,
Candace's daughter gave it to
yeah,
her
sorry,
boyfriend.
Candace Jr.
Candace,
gave the pictures to her boyfriend who runs like a sweatshop where they make knockoff.
Amelia, this whole thing was like, and by the way, that entire explanation was given to us in a meeting by Tuesday. So she was expositing that
Right,
to her employees, and it was so much. And I was like, this is really personal. Like some writer is working out their personal issue that they had in it because this was so complicated. How can you ask me to follow this thread of all these other people?
right. So
I barely understand who the people in the film are.
I know. So to recap, it's Tuesday's mom's book club friend's daughter's boyfriend. That's who's
It could
doing
have
it.
just been Candace.
Right. It could have just been
Candace leaked
Candace.
it for whatever reason. Candace is Snoopy. She tried to sell it for money or she
Yeah.
tried to give it away for money. It doesn't need, we certainly didn't need Candace's daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah, Candace's daughter is so jealous because her mom always compares them, so she gave it to her boyfriend who happens to run a sweatshop.
Then why couldn't Candace have run the sweatshop or Candace's
Right.
daughter have run the sweatshop?
Right. They
Why
could
did
have
it have
had
to
all
go all
so many,
out?
there could have been fewer levels to
That's
this.
because the person who wrote this movie has a frenemy who stole her man one time. And
Right.
so this is her work. No, I promise you. Tell me I'm wrong,
She's
writer.
got somebody named Candace that's
So
mad at
I
it.
bet you
Don't we all?
somebody is has a situation in somebody who worked on this movie has this exact situation. Next time, just make her a character and make her
Right.
really awful if that,
Put her
do
in
it
book
that way.
club.
Put her in book club.
So, all right. So it's Christmas Eve. It's launch party day. Tuesday texts David, invites him to the launch, and he comes. He's there looking hot in a tuxedo
You look
because
good.
this is a black tie event.
On Christmas Eve, naturally.
Everybody is looking beautiful. Um,
Look good, yeah, for the
he
pic
brings out okay, I thought this was funny. She brings out her new line and it's just all these women like holding the bags.
versus the bag. The bag parade.
And she's talking about, so one of the things that she told David when he was yelling at her about how expensive the bags are is she's like, "Listen, they're made out of these exquisite materials. They cost money." So she's like, "This new bag for every woman uses alternative materials."
I love how they
Yeah, that's called vinyl.
yeah, it's got plastic from China. But I loved it, and I do wanna take a moment here to express another bit of disappointment that we did not get a dress reveal moment.
No.
She looked incredible in that dress was amazing. Maybe one of the I would say it's probably gonna go up as one of the nicest ones this season in the
Yeah,
podcast this season.
yeah,
She looked incredible in it, and I thought why did we not get a moment with her on the
yeah,
stairs or, coming into the room, like, just that aha moment for the
yeah.
leading lady? We didn't get it.
I know. Also, take a moment for mom looking beautiful.
Fantastic. She looked great.
Yeah,
Good good shout out. She looked really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they have their bags. The women come out displaying the bags, and there is a standing ovation
Yes. Standing ovation for the alternative materials.
for the alternative materials. So she goes up to him at the party and says she's been trying to reach him. And he's like, "Well, I've been occupied." And she's like, "With another woman."
I didn't know why she automatically went to that, but I guess there was that one line in the beginning where it's like, "He's a player."
Yeah.
So
And he's
now
like,
we just have to assume that he's a player
yeah.
because we were
He's like,
told. We weren't shown.
right. And he's like, "Yeah, my mom."
Yeah, which I figured it was
Which,
gonna
yeah, I
be
did
his
too. But they never actually clear up the whole thing where the best friend found out that he is a player. So I guess that's just not true anymore. They kiss, they dance, and there is a shot at the end of them dancing, and there's another lady dancing while she's holding this giant handbag behind the
Mhm.
other guy,
Yeah.
and that's the end.
I wonder I should have done a little more research on this. Like, I wonder if those are somebody's actual bags.
Oh, I don't know. Probably the, costume designer.
Well, that's the end of Christmas by Design on BET Plus. I want to thank everybody who worked on this movie. Final thoughts, Amelia, before we go into our awards.
I think it had a lot of unrealized potential, actually. I thought that it could have been a lot better than it was. Like you said, it had a lot of really great elements. The leads both did a great job. They're both beautiful slash handsome, but it just didn't quite come together for me. It didn't quite gel like it should have.
How did you feel about visiting your Black neighbors? Because we don't do a lot of this, these movies. Well, not yet, but we may in the future. But yeah, how'd that feel? Did you have some greens?
I enjoyed visiting our Black neighbors. I was a little bit shocked at like the candy cane comment. I
Yeah,
was shocked by the making out. It was kind of like visiting Holiday Land. These things just don't happen.
not where you live. Yeah,
These things
yeah.
don't happen in Christmas Land.
I look I looked at it as the difference between I can still put this in Christmas Land because I look at it as the difference between sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie.
Okay.
Mhm.
I like it.
But, well, you were a great sport, by the way, a great sport about it, and so thanks for coming on
Of
over.
course.
I don't even really live in this neighborhood, and I live in I live in the
You
White
really don't.
Christmas Land here in Orange County, California. Well, I didn't enjoy this movie. I will say that, I didn't, and I wanted to. I was really excited to venture in over to BET,
Yeah.
and I appreciated the effort. I went and looked at a lot of the credits, and it was an independent film. It was filmed in Kentucky. It's clear to me that this isn't like a high budget film. None of the Christmas Land movies are. We're not expecting world-class production or Oscar-worthy production.
Mhm.
But I just felt this moved so slowly, did not do the actors justice, didn't give them enough to work with, and a lot of like we said through the whole podcast today, a lot of tell and don't show, and I didn't appreciate that. You need to be showing more than you're telling. It's just too much for the audience to keep up with. Do all of the cheesy things. That being said, I wanna say this, I loved the leading lady, and I would like to see her transition to mainstream Christmas Land movies.
Yeah.
I think she would be a good addition. She had really good Christmas Land leading lady energy, like, she's a bit, like,
Mhm.
manic or a bit like, "Oh, I don't like" that whole exasperated, like, "I don't know what do I do?" But
Yeah.
she was super cute too, and I actually really liked her, and I thought she would be great for more, like, mainstream, like the Hallmark set, the Great
Mhm.
American set. Great American doesn't
Mhm.
do black leads yet, but we'll see. They might get on board soon
Yeah.
enough, but, loved her.
I
Didn't
agree.
like the movie.
I
Didn't like
agree.
the movie.
And,
A lot of pieces.
and the male lead is on Days of Our Lives. I can totally see that.
Yeah. Yep, makes sense. He's got a very he's a very attractive guy.
Yeah.
Everybody in the movie was attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't everybody was. It was a lovely cast. All right, well, let's get to our awards here. Our first award is the Robert A. Barron Award. This is the award for the best villain of the film. Who did you pick as your villain of the film?
Um, I think the villain of the film is Tuesday's mom's friend's daughter's boyfriend.
Okay. Yeah. I agree. Candace Jr., villain of the film. Well, I said Candace Jr., but technically you're right. It's Tuesday's mom's book club's friend's daughter.
I don't know how I'm gonna make a graphic for that, but sure.
So you have to, and that is your assignment this week. You are assigned to fit all of that in to the awards graphic. And I don't want Candace Jr. I want
I'm gonna do it.
in fact, that's what we're naming this episode. Tuesday's mom's book club friends' daughters.
Is a villain.
Okay, well, that's our
I
villain.
thought we were
I
gonna
agree.
name it Mark's Revenge.
All right, next award is the Christmas Ham Award. This goes to the actor we thought was just over the top, committed totally 100% to their part. Who did you have, Amelia?
The mom,
Me
Candace or
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
Tuesday's
me too.
mom. nice.
Tuesday's mom, she did good. She even made me giggle a couple times. There was one time where they were getting their hair done and mom was like, "Rest your father, God rest his soul." She's like, "Mama, dad's still alive." And she's like, "Yeah, I know." So yeah, mom was the good pick. I liked her. All right. Well, 2 for 2.
Yeah.
We're not usually this aligned. Then let's see. What
Let's
did you
see.
have for your Christmas Tree Topper Award? This is the Academy Award. This goes to who we consider
Mhm.
best performance in the film. Amelia, what was yours?
I Tuesday.
I did too. I
Look
did too.
at us.
Look at us. This
What a
feels
beautiful
like a
moment of unity.
yes. Wow. Yeah, I thought again, I thought she was lovely.
Mhm.
I enjoyed watching her on screen. There wasn't a whole lot to really dig into in this movie, and so whenever she was there, I was engaged with her, and
Yeah.
again, I thought she was really pretty, really cute, and had the Christmas Land vibe. I think she could transition over to Hallmark, I really do.
Yeah.
I think you guys should call her, and great names, Tuesday.
Mhm.
Let's go down some tropes. We did get a couple tropes in this movie, but one I think the top one is the Christmas names.
Yes.
Appreciated that. Did we
Loved
have
it.
any precocious kids in this?
Nope.
Coulda used 1 or 2.
We could've.
Did we have a baking
Yeah.
scene? Had
Yep.
baking? Snowball fight or
Mhm.
snowman building?
Nope.
Awkward situation that could have been cleared up with a simple conversation.
Yeah. Making
Basically
out
the
in the
whole
closet.
movie. Basically the whole movie. And, let's see, and kiss
We had an Asian best friend instead of a black best friend.
Blasian, I guess.
Malaysia.
Yeah, Blasian. Well, what's so funny because we were saying, like, we always have in mainstream Christmas land is like they're the only parts they give to black people are like black best friend. So
Yeah.
what do we do when we go into the black part of town? Who's the black best friend in the black part of town? Turns out it's a mixed black best friend. She was good though. I liked her. I almost gave her my Christmas Ham award.
Yeah, I liked her a lot.
Yeah, very pretty too. Okay, well that is it. That's it. That
Alright.
is Christmas by Design. Amelia, we let Mark pick this, and I just want to apologize. I want to apologize for my husband. We did not enjoy this movie, and he did not enjoy this movie, and he picked this movie. And so he was complaining about the movie as he was watching it, and I said, "Well, you picked this, and I said, well, who picked the movie?" And he said, "Amelia picked the movie."
Sir.
And so we, like, had a literal fight over it, and I was like, "No, she did not. You picked this movie." She went back and readjusted her picks because you weren't pleased with what she picked. You picked it. No, Amelia picked it. Amelia picked this movie, and then when the movie ended, he was like, "Amelia picked this." So, yeah, yeah. Just for the record, everyone, Amelia did not pick this movie. She very kindly allowed my husband to pick this movie. She picks all the movies, she's in charge of it, and she very kindly allowed his request. So sorry.
No,
Girl,
I don't even know how to respond to
I
that.
know, I know. Welcome to my life. I know.
Yeah, he gave me, like, a list to pick from, so I was like, "I guess that one," and then he was like, "Well, no, how about one of these?" Which had that one on it. So I was like,
It's
"Okay."
my life every day. It's my life every day. Anyway, so this movie's over. Thank you for everyone who worked on it. No shade to y'all who put in a lot of hard work. It's
Yeah.
still something that it's an accomplishment. But we've got some moving around to do. We've got a Christmas land schedule, housekeeping to do because we're gonna take a break for the holidays. We're not gonna record over the holidays, but we decided to do something interesting for you. Amelia, do you want to tell people or do you want me to tell people?
Yes, there will be one more episode after this. We're gonna go out with what we think is gonna be a ringer. We're gonna do Opry Lane Christmas because we respect the Palaha,
Always respect the
always.
Palaha.
So we know it's gonna be a good one.
Mhm.
And then we're going to, for some of you have been with us for a while and know we had a podcast before this. So we reference some of those old episodes a lot, including things like one of our favorite characters in one of our favorite movies, Hot Sassafras from Five Star Christmas. And every week we give out the Robert A. Barron Award from an episode that we called Father Knows Best. So what we are going to do is get those episodes up on YouTube which they'll be audio only with a
Mhm.
static visual, but you'll be able to revisit those episodes, find out what the heck we're talking about, and so you'll have some fresh content, but they won't be brand new episodes, but they'll be
Yeah.
either new or a fun refresh for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this will be good. It'll also help us reintegrate the old work that we did. We did some good work, but life gets in the way, and so we just rebranded. And but I think that'll be a good idea and exciting too. So yeah, we'll have 2 more this episode, the next episode, and then I think the next 2 after that will be the replays. So let us know what you think. And then of course, contact us, write us, do all the liking, do all the subscribing. Listen, it's a lot of it's a lot of weirdness out there these days, isn't it, Amelia? It's a weird time to be alive, and every time you turn on your TV, it's just something to be stressed about. And my own real life job in the industry that
Yeah.
Amelia and I work in off and on, it's stress. So it's nice to have a
It
place where it's
Mhm.
just this is why we're always saying we don't want real life in Christmas land.
Yeah, just come hide in Christmas land with us.
Yeah, we genuinely do this podcast. We have no designs on, like, being famous or, like, we genuinely do this podcast because we love it. We really love it, and that's why we wanna share that with you. So if that's how you are and you just want a break from all of the nonsense, this is your podcast. You don't even have to watch these movies, I promise you. You'll have so much fun just listening to us talk about them, but the whole point is that we get to be silly, but we enjoy this stuff too, and we don't have to let the outside world seep in. It's okay to have this escape. That's why they're cheesy.
Yeah, we
Cheesy's
love
good.
it.
Yeah, cheesy's safe. Cheesy's safe. And
Mhm.
everybody needs a little more safety these days.
Mm.
All right, Amelia. Well, I think that wraps us for today. Oh, no, let's go. Make sure you tell everybody where they can find us.
Yes, we are Journey to Christmas Land on Facebook, Substack, and YouTube, JT Christmas Land on X and Instagram.
Yep, you are right. Everybody, thank you for hanging in there with us today. We thank you for all of your support as well. And we're really starting to see some momentum out there actually for the podcast. So that's nice. Amelia, it's time for us to say goodbye. But until we meet again, I wish you days filled with super hot IT workers.
Thank you. I wish you unaffordable handbags made with premium materials.
Thank you. Merry Christmas,
Merry
Amelia.
Christmas.